Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about a few different things that are going on with the Blackstar amp, with the Architect software, with some strings that I ended up wanting to change over many years, and some other cool things, and some what's going on right now over here in Detroit, Waterford area. Today it's very cold and snowy over here in Detroit. If you noticed a little while ago, we just moved recently, not too far from where we were at before, but we moved from West Bloomfield to a little city a little bit further north, about 20 minutes north of where we were before, called Waterford. Now in Michigan, if you talk to somebody from Michigan, if you ask where they live, they'll show you on their hand, because it's kind of like Michigan shaped like a palm. Detroit's down here. We moved just a little bit north of there. And right where we're at, we're kind of like in the lakes area. Now if you look on a map, you'll see that there's a lot of, like a big string of lakes going from the southwest end to the northwest. There was like a glacier, so these are all glacier lakes over here, and the one that we're by over here is frozen. So I'm not a huge swimmer, so I'm not going to be walking on the ice like some of the people over the weekend, ice fishing and things like that, but it's kind of cool to see it. So because it's so cold and so snowy outside, I've got work to do just during the day, but I've been practicing a lot, so I've been using this thing called Metronome online. I signed up for it like about 2 years ago and started doing it. It's really cool. It's an interesting interface, and they even updated it. And because I've been working on my picking a lot more lately, and I have a metronome. I have like Metronome Pro Metronome. I have it on an app, and I've been using that. But the online thing is kind of cool that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because you can set different preferences. You can set different goals for the day. You can set different timings. And you can keep track of it. Like as soon as you hit play, or as soon as you hit the start thing, it times you. So you can look at it over the course of a week and say, oh, this week I practiced 5 hours of practicing or something, or 30 minutes a day, or whatever your schedule wants. Metronome practice is definitely helping me. I've always played in metronomes anyways, but especially now that I'm getting my speed up. I was working vaguely on it, like just on techniques at the house, but I'm going to be working a little more strictly with metronome timing, because I have like goals. Like I want to be able to do this at 130, 145, 150, 160, whatever my speed is, but so I can actually measure it like a SMART goal. I want to be able to measure it in a certain amount of time so I can hit my goals for the year and for my playing. So something you might want to do, I'll put the link in the description if you've never been there before. So a quick Blackstar update for their new Architect software. I still haven't been able to get it to work with my ID Core 40. However, Blackstar, it's been very cool. They actually, apparently they're watching my channel, or at least watched that video for some reason, and they replied directly on it, which I thought was pretty cool, to let me know to give them, and they gave me like a generic name or something like that, but I thought it was pretty nice of them to actually look at the video and tell me to contact them directly. So I did contact them directly yesterday. Haven't heard back from them yet, and don't expect to for a few days. I know they have a new product launch, they have a new software launch. I'm sure they're very busy, with questions and things like that, and that's to be expected. That's with any new product launch, so that's fine. But hopefully sometime soon I'll get a hold of them, or they'll let me know if I'm doing something wrong with it. I did follow the directions. I've read the manual, put different various cables on there, which works on different things, and it's not working for that. But I would like to see it working. If it doesn't, that's still fine anyways. It's still a great amp. But I am going to do another Blackstar video sometime this week, maybe later today actually, because I'm sitting in here doing stuff, with the different effects on there, like the different effects in detail. Before I ran through them on the first video, and it was just like it was like a big overview. But I wanted to get into them a little more detail, like different modulation effects and different delay effects and reverb effects, and how you can mix those, and what the different controls do, and how you can not just use the sounds, but what some of them might be best used for. So I'll look into those, because those are kind of fun to mess with, and Blackstar did a really good job of the few effects that they have on there. They work very well for a practice amp. I'm still blown away by how good this ID Core, like their older one, the first V1, how great of a practice amp it is. Best practice amp I've used yet. On another completely different topic, I've reconsidered my choice of strings after many years of playing. In the 80s when I played, everybody was using 9s on electrics, and I did too. And then right around when Stevie Ray Vaughan came out, and Rick Beato did a video on this too, when Stevie Ray Vaughan came out in the early 90s, or when I remember him anyways, from the early 90s, he was using like 13s, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's got this great howling tone. I want to get that tone too, so maybe heavier strings are the key to that. Well, they are to a point, but Stevie's Stevie. He played the way he played, and he would have made any string sound good, but that was part of his sound. But I think right around then is when people started going from 9s to 10s, and so did I. And I remember thinking, and then I even went to 11s for a while. I was like, that's an even better tone, because it's just a little bit thicker. But it's just, to me, at this point, I think it's all BS, because it really doesn't matter that much. And what Rick Beato noted in his video is that you really can't tell much of a difference, even between like 8s and 9s and 10s or 11s or something. It doesn't make that much of a difference. And I perfectly agree with that, because I haven't seen one instance where I could take the same guitar, the same setting, with like say 9s or 10s, and even if you put it like on a scope and look at the EQ, you might see like a little bump in it, but even that little bump that you might hear or might see is something that can easily be affected by just taking one of the EQ knobs, just going and tweaking it, and then it's the same. Enough to the point where it doesn't even matter. So just getting the heaviest strings that you want to play on there, I don't think it's, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm tired of it. And at this point right now, it's my hands are actually stronger than they've ever been, because I've been playing. But also one of the things is I'm trying to reduce all the roadblocks for me. And one of the things I was thinking about is like, why am I playing on 10s? Yeah, I can play them. I can do these 5-fret blends and all that. But if I had something a little bit lighter, it might make it just a little bit easier. I might be able to play just a little bit faster. I might be able to do my vibratos just a little bit easier all day and not rip my finger away from my nails and things like that, which is, you know, I know that's all part of it, but B.B. King, I think, told Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top one time, he goes, why are you having such heavy strings on there? Why do you need to make it harder than it needs to be? And ever since then, I guess Billy Gibbons has been using 8s. Now, I don't want to use 8s necessarily, but I think 9s are, I'm fine with these 9s. And even on my Martin, I used to use the 13 mediums, because that's a dreadnought. You have to have these big, heavy strings. And I played it, and it sounded great, but it was always this big, heavy, tough thing. So I bumped it back down to 12s, and I just put like custom lights on there, which are 11s. And it plays, you don't notice much of a difference in tone, maybe a little bit of volume, but not enough to the point where it's worth having these big, heavy frickin' piano strings on there. It's just so much easier to play with 11s on there, 9s on here. I'm probably going to be putting a new pickup on, probably going to be putting a new pickup on this. This is a really great, this is like my first Stratocaster. This is a 94 Mexican Stratocaster, a standard. But these have the American pickups from that other guitar that I took off when I was changing pickups. So these are American pickups. This, I always felt the standard Strat bridge pickup is a little weak. Doesn't have much output, just kind of like a little weak sounding for mousing. So I'm going to get a new pickup on here. Something a little more Telecaster sounding, maybe either like a Seymour Duncan Twang Banger, maybe like a Seymour Duncan SSL5. Looking at possibly a DiMarzio or a Lindy Fralin or something, but I don't know, I'm looking at it, but I want something like a little more of a thicker, singing, country-ish tone from that are just like, just a really cool, different tone than the other ones can get. And whatever I do get, I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably do like a video on how to install them and how to tweak them and how to rewire things. I've rewired it before as well too. So that's about it for today. I have some more product stuff I want to do, but I want to make a video and talk to you about what's going on and some vlog kind of things like that. Hope everything's going well for you guys. Hope you're getting a lot of practice time in and rocking out some metronome work like I was talking about, and getting all your goals done, everything like that during this, well, if you're on the northern hemisphere, the winter season. So that's about it. Got some more stuff coming up this week. Hope you guys are taking care and rocking things out, and take care. Talk to you later. Bye. I have to be in orbit.